Hello there, boys and girls. This is your storytelling friend, Uncle Bob. Here's a story on page 23 I think you're going to like. The story of The Fisherman and the Flounder. Once upon a time, there lived a bashful little man by the name of Bertie. Bashful Bertie was a fisherman, and each morning he went down to the deep green sea to fish. Now, Bertie was a good fisherman, but for some unknown reason, he seldom caught any fish. This made his wife, Maggie, very angry.
You call yourself a fisherman? Bah! All our neighbors catch fish, but not you. Bertie, I want fish for supper tonight. Do you hear?
Yes, Maggie. I'll do my best.
So off went little Bertie to the sea to fish. He sat and he sat, but he caught no fish. Well, boys and girls, the day was almost gone, and Bertie was feeling very low. Then, all of a sudden...
I've got a bite. I've caught a fish. Here it comes. Golly, a giant flounder. Why, he's larger than a man.
Fisherman, I beg you not to kill me. I'm no common flounder. I'm an enchanted prince. Put me back in the water, please.
What do you know about that? A flounder that can talk.
Well, do I go back into the water or not?
Oh, I beg your pardon. Here, now, let me unfasten my hook. There now. You're free.
Thank you, fisherman. Thank you.
Bertie watched the flounder sink to the bottom of the sea. Then he hurried home.
Well, Bertie, where's the fish for my supper?
I threw it back.
You what?
I caught a giant flounder, but he said he was an enchanted prince, so I threw him back into the water.
Did you wish for anything?
No, I didn't.
Fool, go back. Tell him I want a nice, clean cottage. I won't live in this miserable hut another day.
But what if he refuses?
He won't refuse you. You let him go, didn't you? Now hurry back to the sea and tell him what I want.
Little Bertie went back to the sea. He stood for a few moments. Then he called out.
Flounder. Oh, Prince. Mr. Flounder.
Hello, fisherman. What do you want?
Mr. Flounder, I'm sorry to bother you like this, but my wife, Maggie, said I should have wished for something when I caught you.
Well, what is your wish?
She wants a pretty cottage.
Wish granted. Go home, little man. Your wife has her wish.
And Bertie went home and found his wife standing before a pretty little cottage. He went inside and found a cozy sitting room, a cozy bedroom, and a cozy kitchen filled with all the food they would ever need.
Isn't this much better than what we had?
It certainly is. We can live here happily for the rest of our lives.
We'll see about that. Come, let's eat supper.
Everything went well for a week or more. Then Maggie began to scold Bertie again.
Husband, this cottage is much too cramped. Go to the Flounder and tell him to give us a castle.
But, Maggie, what will we do with a castle?
Never mind. Just go to the Flounder and tell him your wife wants a castle. Now go.
Bertie's heart was heavy. But at last he went back to the sea, and he stood by the same spot again.
Oh, Flounder. Oh, Prince. Mr. Flounder.
Now, what do you want?
My wife wants a castle.
Wish granted. Go home. Your wife has a castle.
When Bertie went home, he found a great stone castle. They went in and found a great hall paved with marble. The rooms were furnished with golden chairs and tables. Rich carpets covered the floors.
Now, isn't this better than having a cottage?
Well, it doesn't seem real. Pinch me, Maggie. Maybe it's all a dream. Ouch! Ooh, it's real, all right. We can live here happily for the rest of our lives.
We'll see about that. Come, let's eat supper.
The next morning, Maggie woke up first. Day was just dawning, and from her bedroom window, she could see the beautiful countryside.
Bertie, wake up. Look out the window. What a beautiful country.
Not now, Maggie. It's too early.
You wake up this instant. I want you to go back to the Flounder and tell him I wish to be king of all this land.
What? Why do you want to be king?
Why not? I should be a king. Now be on your way at once.
So little bashful Bertie went back to the sea and stood by the same spot again.
Oh, Flounder. Oh, Prince. Mr. Flounder.
Now, what does she want?
She wants to be a king.
Wish granted. Go back to your palace. She is king.
Bertie returned to the palace and found it had grown much larger. When he got inside, he found everything was made of silver. He entered a great hall, and at the other end of the hall, he saw his wife Maggie seated on a lofty throne of silver and diamonds. Bertie stood before his wife.
Are you happy now, Maggie?
Yes, now that I am king, I am very happy.
The next day, Maggie awakened at dawn again.
Bertie, wake up.
Maggie, let me sleep, please.
Bertie, I want you to go back to the Flounder again.
I say no.
And I say yes. I decided that being a king isn't good enough. I want to be an emperor. Go to the Flounder and tell him I want to be an emperor.
I won't go. I won't ask the Flounder for another thing.
What? You refuse a king? Go to him at once. Tell him he must make me an emperor.
Little Bertie had to go. But this time when he reached the sea, he was quite frightened.
Oh, Flounder. Oh, Prince. Mr. Flounder.
What does she want now?
My wife wants to be made emperor.
Wish granted. Go back. She is emperor.
And Bertie went back to the palace. This time he found his wife seated on a huge throne made of solid gold. She had on her head a great golden crown set with diamonds and rubies. Bertie stood before her.
How do you feel now, Maggie? Are you happy?
Yes, I'm very happy. Now I am emperor.
The next morning, Maggie looked out of the window and saw the sun rising.
Why can't I make the sun and moon rise when I wanted to? Bertie, wake up.
Oh, yes, Maggie.
Go to the Flounder. Tell him I want to be Lord of the universe.
Bertie was so shocked at his wife's words that he fell right out of bed.
What did you say?
I said I want to be Lord of the universe. I want the power to make the sun and moon rise any time I wish. Go tell the Flounder. Go!
Bertie ran out of the palace as fast as his little legs could carry him. Such a terrible storm was raging that he could hardly keep his feet. It thundered and thundered. Bertie reached the sea. He called out to the Flounder.
Oh, Flounder. Oh, Prince. Mr. Flounder.
Now, what does she want?
She wants to be Lord of the universe.
Oh, she does she? Well, that's the last straw. Just for that, she must go back to her old hut. Well, what are you waiting for?
I don't want to go back to her. May I please come with you?
You mean you want to be a flounder?
Yes, just like you.
Wish granted. From this moment on, you are a flounder just like me.
So Bertie the fisherman became a flounder and never saw his selfish wife, Maggie, again. And until this day, he swims in the sea, shouting,
I'm Bertie! I'm Bertie! At last I'm free!
Well, boys and girls, that's the story of the fisherman and the flounder. Let me see now. What story shall I tell you next? Sleeping Beauty or the giant with 3 golden hairs? I'll surprise you. How's that? Oh, yes. One thing more. Uncle Bob wants you to remember to always be careful when you cross the streets. See you soon. Bye.